A border conflict between Thailand and Cambodia is set to dominate an ASEAN summit in Indonesia this weekend, casting doubt on the bloc's rhetoric about regional integration by 2015. Analysts and diplomats say the fighting, which has left at least 18 people dead since April 22nd, is expected to be a key topic at the two-day summit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, in Jakarta from Saturday. Current ASEAN chair Indonesia has been leading mediation efforts, but although the fighting has eased, the situation remains tense. Professor Carl Thayer of the University of the New South Wales in Australia comments that the Thai-Cambodia border dispute poses a definite challenge to ASEAN credibility and its objective of creating an ASEAN community by 2015. He also added that ASEAN's failure to broker a political solution would have a very negative impact on ASEAN credibility as a viable regional organization. But Thayer said Indonesia can use the opportunity to play a continuing proactive diplomatic role, while other ASEAN states can pressure Bangkok and Phnom Penh to negotiate a settlement. A diplomatic source says ASEAN leaders would call on Bangkok and Phnom Penh to resolve the conflict, which has displaced 85,000 civilians on both sides. The warring neighbors agree at a special ASEAN ministerial meeting in Jakarta in February to accept Indonesian military observers at the border. At the time, ASEAN Secretary General Surin Pitsuwan held agreement as a historic day for the 10-nation bloc, but more than 2 months and a lot more fighting later, the observers remain in Jakarta. Secretary General is redeeming the ASEAN integrity by saying that he thinks ASEAN is turning a page and making a giant leap forward by taking steps, added that it is not going to be easy and it surely is not going to be resolved tomorrow. A diplomatic briefing paper for one summit participant said ASEAN risks putting its community-building efforts in jeopardy if it fails to respond adequately to such bilateral disputes. The paper said intra-regional clashes would not go well for ASEAN's peace and stability or its credibility. How it responds is a litmus test for ASEAN's ability to contribute to international peace and security.
Britain's Foreign Secretary said that the pro-democracy rising shaking in the Middle East may have a greater impact than the recent recession or 9/11 terrorist attack. Speaking to a white tie audience at an Easter banquet in London's luxury mansion house, William Hague said that 2011 has seen a confluence of events that would change the course of history. Hague said the eruption of democracy movements in countries of the Middle East and North Africa is even in its early stages, the most important development of the early 21st century in his view, with potential long-term consequences greater than either 9/11 or the global financial crisis in 2008. Hague predicted that the forces which led to what he called the Arab Spring would sweep across the globe, comparing it to the collapse of an Iron Curtain. But he said that challenges remain and argued for strong action to help support Arabs trying to emerge from under the shadow of authoritarian rule. In particular, Hague called for the more aggressive use of economic incentives to nudge countries in the Middle East and North Africa toward more open government, saying that Europe should be ready to rope the region into a free trade area or even a customs union in return for political progress. Britain has taken a lead role in shaping Europe's response to the Arab uprisings. David Cameron was the first European leader to visit Egypt after the overthrow of dictator Hosni Mubarak, and he was among the strongest backers of a NATO no-fly zone over Libya. Hague said Britain will continue to apply increasing pressure on Muammar Gaddafi's regime.
Coming up, we have the part 2 of Live at the Conflict Zone report.